Hello guys, so welcome to the channel. As you can see by the title, I'm making a bolognese. I don't know if it's bolognese or bolognese because I watch a lot of like Italian cooking, Italian grandmas and mothers, and they all say bolognese, which sounds correct, but you let me know if it's bolognese or bolognese. But that's what we're making today, and I'm so excited. I've been wanting to make this recipe and I've never made it before, and I cook so much, but this is just one recipe that I've always put on the back burner because it's a little bit time consuming, and yeah, you gotta, you know, put some time into it. It actually takes like 3 hours to cook on the stovetop and simmer, so it's gonna be a long one, but I'm so excited to share it with you guys. And I am on WW, so I'm altering a few things in this recipe to just make it a little bit more point friendly, but it's still gonna be absolutely delicious, and I already know it because all the ingredients are things that are just so good, and I have high hopes for this recipe. So follow along. I'm gonna talk you guys through it and show you guys what you need for this recipe, and of course the written instructions and ingredients will be down below in the description box for you guys to look at. You can screenshot it, you can print it out, make this at home, watch the video while you're making it if you prefer. But yeah, I'm so excited, and I hope you guys are too, and I hope you're doing well. And if you could give this video a thumbs up, comment, like, share, subscribe if you're new. All of that helps the channel so much, and I greatly appreciate it. And let's just jump right into this delicious recipe. I also, of course, have some beautiful flowers to set the mood. I'm going to clean up this celery. I'm doing 3 celery stalks because these were a little short, and some of it is a little not the best shape, so I need to cut a few pieces out. So I'm doing 3 celery stalks, 2 long carrots. I'm going to clean those up, and we're going to do 1 whole onion, and this is a white onion, and I'm going to do a little bit of garlic also in this, and that's all the veggies for this recipe. So I'm going to go ahead and clean up my carrots. This is like a little hack, I always leave out a bowl for scraps. It's just so easy, so if you've never done that, try it out. So you can put all the scraps in that bowl, and just your cleaning space is just a lot easier. I live in an RV, so anytime I can save some space, I will. These carrots are going to be blended up in a food processor or blender, whichever you have on hand. So they don't have to be a specific size. I'm just going to do about this size, just in thirds pretty much. Set that aside. And I'm going to cut this celery up a little bit, just taking off the nasty bits on the end. And again, just cut it in half. It doesn't have to be a precise size because we're gonna mince it up, I guess, in the processor. Portion wise, I feel like that's good. I've never made this before, so I hope that the proportions are good. I'm gonna do 1 whole onion. I don't have a food processor, but I do have a blender with like a food processor setting, which I love that this is like an all-in-one situation. It's just really easy. I'll first add the celery and carrots to this. Okay, the carrots and celery are done. I'm gonna place it into a bowl. Now we're going to add the onion. And pulse the onion. I'm using my Dutch oven. I love this Dutch oven. I feel like it's perfect for sauces. And I'm not adding any olive oil. That's kind of the traditional way to do it, is add olive oil. But I'm using half pork and half beef. And I'm also using pancetta, which has a lot of natural like grease and oil that it's going to create. So I'm just going to not add the oil and just do the meat mixtures. So the way I'm doing it is I'm going to cook my beef and take it out, and then cook my pork, take it out, and then cook the pancetta and then take it out, and whatever's left, like the oil from that meat, I'm going to start sauteing that mixture of veggies, which this is how it turned out. Is all of this carrot, onion, celery mixture. So I'm gonna go ahead and start with the beef. I'm gonna pop that into this dish and go ahead and start cooking that. Hey. Okay, I took the ground beef out, put it into a separate bowl. Now I'm adding the pork. And the reason why I'm doing this separately is because this is a pretty small Dutch oven. I don't have enough surface to cook both at the same time, and I don't want to crowd the meat. I want to get it cooked really evenly. So we're going to go ahead and do the pork. Okay, this is another little hack, and I really believe in it. It's rinsing your meat to make it really lean. So this really helps with points because these aren't lean beefs that I bought, but now that I'm rinsing them with hot water, you can get it to be lean meat. So I'm doing the beef and the pork. Okay, hot water, and just rinse it really well. Now I'm going to go ahead and cook the pancetta. I got this actually from Publix. I'm doing 4 ounces, and it's already diced, pre-diced for me, which is awesome. I'm gonna let this get really crispy because I want it to have a good texture. So I'm just flattening it out, and then I'm just going to leave it be and let it get crispy on each side. Okay, now I'm going to add our veggies. Alright, I'm going to let this cook for about 10 minutes. I'm going to set a timer to get it to cook and simmer down. I'm going to do it for 10 minutes, and I'm going to set a kitchen timer. for it. Okay, I'm gonna go ahead and add the meat. I'm adding 4 ounces of tomato paste. Okay, I'm gonna add in 1 cup of red wine. And I'm just gonna let this kind of cook down. Let that tomato paste simmer. And you're gonna want this to just be like super saturated and like a deep red. So I'm gonna let this cook for probably like 8 to 10 minutes. I'm gonna lower the heat just a little bit. It already smells so good. In this little cup, I have a ton of seasonings. I have nutmeg, allspice, Italian dried seasoning, garlic powder, and salt. I didn't really measure, but I'd say about a half a teaspoon for most all of it to 1/4 teaspoon maybe of the nutmeg and allspice. You can add more salt as you go if it needs it, but I'm just gonna add those spices in now. Give that a good mix. As this has been simmering, I've been kind of chopping it like this with my wooden spoon, just getting it into a really good texture for the sauce. And now we're going to add some good stuff to it. I have 2 cups of chicken broth we're going to add in. Instead of whole milk, I'm doing 2% milk. I didn't want to do skim and I didn't want to do 1% because I do want this to taste really good, but I did do a 2% milk, which will help the points a little bit compared to whole milk. So we're going to do 1 whole cup. And we're going to add a bay leaf. Okay. There she is. We're gonna let this sit now on simmer. You want it to be barely bubbling. You want it to be on super low heat. And we're gonna do this for 3 hours. So I'll check back with you guys around 2 hours. We're going to add some Parmesan. In about 2 hours, we're gonna add a Parmesan rind to this for the last hour that it's cooking, and it's gonna be so good. And I think it's gonna add a lot of saltiness, so that's why I'm not going too heavy on the salt yet until I add that Parmesan rind to it. But let's go ahead and just let this simmer on low heat. It might show a little bit of bubbles, but that's okay. You just don't want it actual bubbling. So we'll check back in a little bit. Okay, this is what the sauce should look like. And now I'm gonna add the Parmesan. Just stick it in there and push it down. And then we're gonna let it keep simmering. And this movement is what you want. Just like not sit like bubbling, but just like a little bit of movement. Okay guys, there is the sauce after 3 hours. It looks incredible. I'm about to boil the pasta. These are the pasta noodles that I'm going with. I feel like this is what I see mostly with Bolognese paired with these pasta noodles. My house seriously smells so good, and I'm so excited to taste this and make a nice big bowl for me and Joey for dinner. Alright, you guys, let's do a taste test. This looks so good. It smells so good. So much flavor. Wow, this is so good. I don't know what I was expecting. But absolutely love it. I will leave the recipe down below. I hope you guys enjoyed this cook with me video, and I hope you try this delicious sauce at home. Thank you guys so much for watching, and I will see you very soon in my next video. Bye guys.